Welcome everyone to Stammer AI Agency Office Hours. Today we're going to be going over a few minor updates, nothing too major this week, and then we'll have some questions to give everyone as well. Just kind of trying to do some polling, figure out what people are doing, basically, different features that we're trying to figure out and get feedback on, how to optimize, and so on and so forth. Of course, we always like to start out with all of our support options. You can find this in our dashboard, or you can go to Stammer AI/support and see all of our support options to be able to get in contact with us, join meetings like today, or our daily support calls as well. This is, again, it's all available in the dashboard here. So, main thing that we've been working on aside from voice is our integrations. So one of the main integrations that we've been working on is with GHL, Go High Level, and that's one of the most common platforms that a lot of agencies are using. And it's also a good way for us to continue to test how these types of integrations should be built. In the past, we've worked on apps like Zapier, but we're now trying to figure out and expand into different areas, GHL being one of them. We're also looking at N8N as well to create a community node application that would allow you to connect your AI agents to your N8N workflows. And that would help simplify quite a bit of these types of workflows when you're building a complex automation sequence. So instead of having to use webhooks or for that matter, being able to have to, replicate or recreate everything inside of that type of workflow, you can do it with the native application. So do a quick demo of what this application would look like for Go High Level. And so in a Go High Level workflow here, and typically when you create a automation that allows a customer to talk with an AI agent, you would set it up using the white label API, which you can find here. And this works, it still works and it works great. And there's a lot of other options that you can use with this endpoint, but it can be a little confusing, even though you're simply just copying and pasting a few variables over, it can still be a little confusing. So we decided to make a native application inside of Go High Level that would allow you to simplify that process even further, which allows you to get these AI agents up and running inside of a GHL workflow very, very quickly. So this can be done in many different ways, but this is one of the most simple and straightforward ways to engage an AI agent inside of workflow where you have a trigger that says a customer has replied to a certain chat channel. And this could be live chat, Facebook, Instagram, SMS, WhatsApp, whatever it may be. And then that message is then going to be sent to an AI agent. And this is the application. And when it's published and live, you'll be able to go and search inside of the Discover tab here, and you'll be able to search for Stammer, and you'll be able to select this application, and then it will bring you to your Stammer application to sign in and authenticate. And once you've authenticated, the only thing that you need to copy and paste in is your chatbot UUID or your AI agent UUID. And so you go to the specific agent that you want to test out and you copy this value right here. And then you go and then you paste it in right here. And then your AI agent is ready to go. The only other optional piece that you might want to customize is a custom-based system prompt. And this is extremely useful for when you want to customize the conversation to be specific with this contact. So for example, you could put in something like, this you are talking to, George or something, and then you could basically just put in their name right here as a dynamic value. And then every time this AI agent is running, this value is going to be dynamically replaced with whoever the contact, whatever their name is. And this is again available from our white label API, and this is one of the cooler features that we've seen a lot of people take advantage of to customize those conversations. That way the AI agent already has context and knows exactly who it's talking to. So you can set that up very, very quickly and then click save. And then once that message is generated, it will come back as another dynamic value response. And this is found simply through the values here where you go through it and then you just select the answer and then that answer will show up here. So when you have this answer in here, it will then send that message back to the user on the front end, whether that's SMS, WhatsApp, live chat, whatever it may be. And that's essentially it. So that's as simple as it needs to be. There's no other, changes or technical bits that you need to focus with authentication or your API keys or anything of that. Everything is automated when you go through the authentication process. And this is, again, very similar to how we've set up our Zapier application. It's how we're going to be approaching some of our other integrations with these other platforms as well. So that way we make it super easy for you guys to make these connections to your AI agents, whether it's for yourself or for your clients. And that's one change that we're going to be making to this before we push it to production. We'll be kind of anonymizing a lot of this. So it'll say send message to AI agent. So that way, the name Stammer isn't directly shown inside of this workflow step right here. We probably will be offering an upsell if you want to create a white labeled version of that application within GHL. That is definitely possible. We've already had some people reach out and ask about that. So we'll figure out pricing on that and be able to tell you guys more about that later down the road. So that being said, yeah, there's not too many updates other than that, and we'll definitely let everyone know when that is out and available for everyone to download. For the few people that are on the call today, appreciate you guys joining. One question I would like to ask is, where, like I was mentioning earlier, is some of the different features and things that we are trying to improve upon. So one of the things that we've been working on is simplification and organization of our platform. And so one of the features that we added probably a few months ago was this concept of tags. And tags is essentially a way to organize your AI agents. And it might be slightly confusing to have it in this settings area, but just to get some quick feedback, if anybody in the chat is currently using tags, maybe give like a thumbs up or let us know in the chat, or you can simply just speak up and tell us. That would be helpful. Trying to figure out how useful that is to users and try to see how many people are actually using that feature and if we should maybe reorganize it somewhere else or simply remove it. It is useful for having your AI agents in the marketplace, but outside of that, we're going to be coming out with some folders and some other organization things that might be a little bit easier to use. And if not enough agents on my end yet, absolutely will use it though. Okay. And I think, Lucas, from your point of view, would it make sense if it had, the ability to add tags from this menu rather than it being in here? Makes more sense. Yeah. So that's just a quick thing.
Ross, can I ask?
Yeah, please. Hey, Tim.
Hi. So if you've got one customer who's only got one bot, why would they use a tag?
They probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more of an agency thing, really, isn't it, for us to sort the bots, I guess?
Yeah,
At this level,
correct.
like the view you're showing now, maybe is a better, like you just explained for Lucas, there might be a better option there.
Yeah. Yeah, and we were getting some feedback from customers where they were thinking that changing the tags affected how the AI agent worked.
Uh-huh.
So instead of having this feature inside of the settings, we think it might be simpler to put it inside this like organization menu. That way, it's clearer that it's more of like an organization thing rather than something that affects quality or the functionality of the AI agent.
Sure.
And you are right. This is something that is more towards the agencies and businesses that are, that have, thousands of agents, kind of like kind of like I do here.
Mm.
Um, we're trying to, focus on how we can support these guys because they're doing crazy volume. But I guess, yeah, would that make sense if tags, like add a tag here?
Yeah, maybe above. So where you've got the search box. So the way I use it a lot is I know the name of the bot that I'm trying to search.
Hmm.
I'll start a string search in there, and it will bring up the exact one, or maybe one or two that I can then select from. Maybe you could filter by tag that way,
Yep.
which you can. You've got that there. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And I think for someone like you, maybe folders might be more useful.
Maybe.
Um, yeah, so we have a mock-up coming out with that. We'll have that soon. Just trying to really focus in on how to make the platform easier to use, where there's not so much being shown it to you all at once. This is kind of the idea here.
In the filter there, is it possible to show like active bots, subscribe bots, newest? So obviously we've got lots of demo bots in the platform because we're showcasing for lots of clients, pitching for new business and stuff.
Hmm.
But it's sometimes nice to filter out the ones who are just actually paying and
Mm.
have a filter for that. I know we've got you have the little lozenge on there where it says the status of the status of the bot. So whether it's a free trial or it's expired or it's a paid version.
Yeah, in the sub accounts area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. Okay. That's definitely something to think about. Yeah, and then Tim, we're also looking into how we can build out the thing that you mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago, that easier sign up flow process
For onboarding, yeah. Yeah.
for onboarding and being able to give people a form, and then that creates the agent in their account, and then they'll be able to experience that agent very quickly. In your use case, would you want people to, like, when they create that agent and enter their information, would you want them to be able to immediately then log into the dashboard directly, or would you want them to start a credit card free trial or sign up with a free trial? Like, which one do you think would be best for your use case?
Mm, I mean, we've tried the free trial for a long time now, and converting them into paid doesn't always work. So, if we're going to try this to get them to push them into accounts straight away, then I think share your credit card information from the get go
Hmm.
possibly is an option.
That's that's good feedback.
The other thing I found today, literally, we're doing a demo for a client who's got a huge e-commerce website, and we've just scraped his site and it's 5,000 pages. So we've got to be mindful of some people trying to demo and on board with this. And
Mm.
if we take the URL of their particular website as the example, maybe we've got to restrict it to 10, 20 pages, but it actually scrapes as an initial setup. That's the demo I'm trying to record for a client here as we do the setup in the back end is taking quite a long time to scrape that number of pages.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a lot of
that's
data. I think 2.5 million characters we've got up to so far. So,
oh man, yeah, that's quite a bit.
and maybe that isn't the best way to do that as well for those bigger sites. That's maybe not a question for this session, but maybe the support session afterwards. But should we is for big sites with a lot of content? Is there another way to effectively pull that data into the chat interface? Is that better done via an automation or a workflow?
We had another customer the other day show us he built, like, he used Lovable or Cursor or something to vibe code up a separate interface that scraped things in a different way, and then he used the API to then use all that data and upload it as files,
Right.
which was quite surprising because it was pretty complex. But he had the same kind of issue where he was like, this site has tens of thousands of product pages, and um, there's only specific data that we want to use. I would say the first thing to test would be, did you have the extract main content on by any chance?
Yeah, I think I did.
You did?
Check.
Okay. Yeah, that would be that would be like the one of the main things to make sure that it doesn't continuously rescrape like all of the menus and other data that is consistent throughout each page, and it only ideally it only takes in the actual product information of each page.
Hmm. Yeah, that was switched on. Checked.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that many pages just is inherently just a
So it's
large
going
data
to take a
set.
while. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. For me, I would what I would probably do is I would probably take maybe I would like cherry pick some of the pages. So I would do probably like their homepage, maybe do like a collections page that has
Yeah, like a
data,
category, a specific category,
a
maybe. Yeah.
category, and then like their about us, contact us, maybe like an FAQ section page, like some of those core pages that it had that it could show that it knows maybe greater than 50% of the general information, and then use that as a way to be like, yeah, so we took all of the core pieces of your business, and part of our service is making it work across all 5,000 plus of your products or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. Any other comments, questions, concerns today?
I have one quick one.
Yeah.
I don't see my icons at the top of my dashboard for some reason. You know the status updates and the so where you've got the little green icon and then the rocket ship and the dots there.
Are you in your white label version?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the main reason why. So we had some feedback that people were doing demos and they didn't want to show any of that type of Stammer related stuff. So we removed that from the white label side. But if you go to if you go to the Stammer login, it's all still there.
Okay, fine. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Well, thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.